Greetings from Tucson, Arizona for the annual Gemstone and Crystal Fair. Sky and I are going to take you on a quick walk. There's a great juxtaposition of some of the shinier rocks and some of the stuff that actually is wood versus some of the softer rocks here. Sky, let's start with you. What do we find in here first?
Well, this is really interesting. You have pendants, you have jewelry, you have slabs, you have things that people make jewelry from. But what I really like to look at is things like this, just general specimens that are for show or for healing. What's interesting about this is you might look at it and think it's some kind of interesting crystal. These are agates. This stuff here is petrified wood. It's so beautiful in color, and you would look at it and think it's just like a regular rock, but it actually is polished petrified wood. What are you seeing, Ryan?
Well, one of the things, I don't know as much about the names of the crystals and the rocks, but to see like the different elements dipped into water, you know, it makes me wonder, like, are we seeing, you know, sea rock? Are we seeing ocean rock? There's so many different aspects that you could actually learn a lot just from walking here. And right over here, what we just saw was really glossy and shiny and very pretty, but here we have some actual real earth, some hard earth rock. And Sky, what are you, I know you're a fan of the more unpolished images.
Well, what's interesting, I don't know, what particular kind of rocks these are, but some of the things you see are just thousands, if not millions of years old. I love this kind of stuff. I'd have my house filled with rocks if I had the money. It's just amazing and awesome, and I use it for metaphysical healing as well.
Let's take a walk inside the tent. I did a little preview. Can you see actually back over there, can you see the mountains of Arizona behind our food court?
Yep.
If you take a look over here to my right, you can see there's even some painters who have set up some stuff that was probably inspired by some minerals and fossils, a lot of patterns in their work, and these rows just keep going, and you'll find all different types of things, from jewelry to rocks to things that are polished to things that are really rough. But what I'm gathering we're going to find in the tent are things that definitely cannot get wet. I mean, look at this right here to start. It's like a beautiful piece of art, but what I really also find fascinating about being at the Tucson Gemstone Fair is these people come from around the world. And here's something that's actually still in its shipping crates. And if you think about how much effort goes into producing the Tucson and Gemstone Fair, I mean, just a day of packing this, making sure it's secure, insuring it, nailing it together, and then putting it out on display here, it's just fascinating.
Well, what's really neat is this is amethyst, and people wear amethyst jewelry all the time. You'll see it on necklaces, you'll see it on rings. This is a geode. It actually comes from the earth. They split it in half. They may polish this stuff here, but this is natural. Something like this goes for $3,000. I wonder how many people come to the Gemstone Fair and have this stuff shipped to another state or another country. What do you do with this? You put it in your living room, in your backyard, in a fountain, or do you give it to somebody as a gift? A $3,000 piece of amethyst is just amazing what you can find here.
I personally would think if I'm able to buy this and ship this piece of amethyst back home, I would see it in my living room. If I had enough space to put this, it's exactly where I'd find it. And maybe I'd have some lighting just hitting this, and I would imagine, similar to my shirt actually, that the light might just reach out into the room. Let's check out inside, under the tent.
Ooh, pretty. These are my favorite kind of places. I like the tents because it's shady. You're not under the 70 to 100 degree Arizona sun, and you can find things like this, gigantic specimens, for $2,000-3,000, but you can also find very affordable, spheres or things. Here's that amethyst again. Things that you would actually have around your house. They make bowls, balls and bowls. These are actually fossils of annanites. They're called annanites, and they're from a sea creature that lived millions of years ago, and it condensed into this amazing looking rock. Do you think this little sea creature knew millions of years from its death it would be sold as a piece of crystal for $80? It's kind of weird. We're selling the earth.
There's a lot of color also, I've noticed, and one of the things about being under a tent is you necessarily can't see everything for its natural properties. So let me hold this up to you into the light, and you can just see the joy that this fuchsia and pink bring to you. And I would gather then that Sky may know this would also be wood, or would this be
I think that's
rock?
agate.
This would be agate. And some of the stuff that we're showing you is really raw and very, very cut up. But here's something that's actually raw and cut up.
Made into a candle holder.
Made into a candle holder. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we're showing you is, you know, piece of rock, you know, what am I going to do with it? Where am I going to put it in my home? But this is perfect. It explains itself. It's a candle holder.
This is sodalite, a very good stone for communication. I like it in rare rock, you know, raw rock form to lay on my clients when I'm doing crystal healing, but it also is great to put a candle and just have it around the house for a romantic dinner. Pretty cool. Got some rose quartz.
We have some beads over here for jewelry fans. Now, some of the beads here are actually cut, you know, and you could, you know, make your own designs. And some of them are actually cut ready to wear as necklaces or bracelets.
So you may wonder, when a rock is broken down into a jewelry form, what happens to it? Well, this is why wholesalers come here. They can actually just buy bunches and bunches of charms and crystals and things that are already handmade and sell it in their own stores for sometimes twice, 3 times, 4 times the price that they pay for it. It's a great business.
This is going to bring us to the close of our walking tour of the Tucson, Arizona Gemstone Fair.
I'm R. Sky Palkowitz.
I'm Ryan Wolowski in Arizona. Till next time.